Hello everybody, David Shuster here. Trump White House staff who wish to remain anonymous say the president's irritability, confusion, and memory loss are all getting worse. Those are indicators of dementia. And on this day, there were several symptoms during an Oval Office photo op with the president of South Africa.
You're taking people's land away
we have not.
from them. And those people, in many cases, are being executed. They're being executed. And they happen to be white, and most of them happen to be farmers.
Journalists in South Africa say most of the people being executed there are black, and that there's no evidence of the South African government engaged in white genocide, as Trump insists. On top of delusions, Trump also had trouble following basic reasoning.
Can you explain to Americans why it's appropriate to welcome white Afrikaners here when other refugees like Afghans, Venezuelans, Haitians have all had their protected status revoked?
Well, this is a group, NBC, that is truly fake news. They ask a lot of questions in a very pointed way. They're not questions.
Actually, they are questions. And a few minutes later, when NBC's Peter Alexander asked about Trump's acceptance of a Qatari jet, Trump exploded repeatedly, another sign of dementia.
Mr. President, the Pentagon announced that it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You know, you to get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are a real, you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. But for you to go into a subject about a jet that was given to the United States Air Force, which is a very nice thing. They also gave $5.1 trillion worth of investment.
The they is Qatar, who Trump couldn't seem to name. Also, Qatar's annual gross domestic product, or GDP, is $200 billion. During his recent visit, Trump claimed, without evidence, that Qatar was giving the United States $1.2 trillion, or 6 times GDP, which is preposterous. Now, Trump is claiming $5.1 trillion and erupting.
Go back, you ought to go back to your studio at NBC, because Brian Roberts and the people that run that place, they ought to be investigated. They are so terrible the way you run that network.
Peter Alexander doesn't run the network. It's Brian Roberts, as Trump had just said.
And you're a disgrace. No more questions from you. Go ahead. Go ahead, talk about that. His name is Peter something. He's a terrible reporter. Quiet.
Moments later, Trump struggled to put together a coherent thought about his white genocide claims, and he lashed out again.
We're here to talk about it, and I didn't know we'd get involved here. But I will say this, that if the news wasn't fake, like NBC, which is fake news, totally, one of the worst, ABC, NBC, CBS, horrible. But if they weren't fake news like this jerk that we have here, if we had real reporters, they'd be covering it. But the fake news in this country doesn't talk about that.
Well, they aren't talking about it because it's not true. That basic reasoning and logic escapes Trump. Basic history has also begun to escape Trump. He has a copy of the Declaration of Independence in the Oval Office, but in a recent ABC News interview, Trump seemed lost.
What does it mean to you?
Well, it means exactly what it says. It's a declaration. It's a declaration of unity and love and respect, and it means a lot, and it's something very special to our country.
Check out Terry Moran's perplexed face. The Declaration inspired colonists to kill British troops in the Revolutionary War. It was not about love. In another interview, Trump forgot his oath of office and his fundamental presidential responsibility.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
President Trump, who told an interviewer that he doesn't know if he's required to uphold the Constitution.
Don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as president?
I don't know.
More recently, Trump whiffed while talking about cancer and Joe Biden.
I'm surprised that it wasn't, the public wasn't notified a long time ago, because to get to stage 9, that's a long time.
Cancer goes to stage 4. There is no stage 9.
And the auto pen is becoming a very big deal. You know, the auto pen is becoming a big deal because it seems like that maybe was the president who ever operated the auto pen. But when they say that that was not good, they also, you know, you have to look and you have to say then.
What? According to medical literature, on top of sentence incoherence, other indicators of dementia include increased lack of judgment and strange fixations.
Our country needs law and order. Alcatraz is, I would say, the ultimate, right? Alcatraz, Sing Sing and Alcatraz, the movies.
And it's long been a symbol, Alcatraz, of whatever it is.
White House staff have told reporters, though, that it's Trump's increased irritability and outbursts that raise the most questions.
Who are you with? Wall Street Journal. That's right. Well, you people treat us so badly. Wall Street Journal has truly gone to hell. Go ahead. It's a rotten newspaper. You hear me? What I said? It's a rotten newspaper.
Now, to be fair, Donald Trump has been lashing out at reporters for years. During his first term, Trump repeatedly erupted at CNN.
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation? Mr. President.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN.
Trump also fired away at Jeff Mason from Reuters.
Between you people, don't talk to me that way. You're just a lightweight. Don't talk to me that way. I'm the president of the United States. Don't ever talk to the president that way.
Now, though, even while exploding at reporters, Trump is slower and less coherent. Also, White House staff say his eruptions are more frequent and unpredictable, and that trend is another indicator of dementia. So, is Donald Trump suffering from the same cognitive decline that eventually claimed the life of his father, Fred Trump? Some forms of dementia do have a genetic component, and friends of President Trump say an erosion like his dad is Donald's biggest fear. In any case, Donald Trump is clearly aging, slowing down, and showing signs that trouble the people around him. The indicators should also trouble the American people. Because as frightening, damaging, and unconstitutional as Trump's policies may be, his inability to grasp reality and speak rationally will make everything even worse. By the way, a Trump Republican in Congress just got hounded on camera over a Republican bill that would cut Medicare and Medicaid.
Congresswoman, I was wondering if you would just talk to us on your way over to the conference meeting?
No.
That is Republican Congresswoman Marionette Miller Meeks of Iowa.
Last time you spoke with us, you lied to our face and said that you weren't going to vote for Medicaid cuts. But then you've actually voted for the largest cuts to Medicaid in the history of the country. Do you have any comments on that? Do you have any comment on the 4 hospitals in your district that are going to close because of your vote? Representative Miller Meeks, I'm wondering if you have any comment on the health care that 67,000 people in your district are going to lose?
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from L. Blutcher, who wrote, "They think there will be no accountability. They need to be proven wrong." Well said. I look forward to reading your comments about Donald Trump's tantrums apparently getting worse, triggering more questions among his own White House staff. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.